Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
The day will come when these measures are no longer needed. Until then, however, we must ensure that all our people receive adequate support. We look ahead to a better future. I have faith in the strength and the resilience of ordinary South Africans who have proven time and time again throughout our history that they can rise to any challenge that is presented to our country. We shall recover. We shall overcome.
God is so amazing.
Feel the heat.
The Bible says that through his death on the cross, we are now reconciled with our Father.
Forgive and you shall be forgiven.
So wherever God takes us, we're just excited about it.
As a child of God, where you are, you must have an hour of prayer.
Feel the excitement.
In the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus.
I believe that God is working right now.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
China saying that the latest outbreak is under control.
Feel the heat.
The cabinet has decided to ease restrictions on certain other economic activities.
I don't want to be a white person who sits by and does nothing, so that's why I'm here today.
Feel the excitement.
We are here to unite because what we are fighting for is to stop institutional racism.
Feel the heat with StarSat. Feel the heat.
You said you love me.
I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Leave my house right now. Oh no, you don't! Get out of my way! Get out!
That is an abomination.
Oh, the love you promised me.
Do you have a boyfriend? Yeah?
Feel the excitement.
You don't know how I've been longing for this.
Feel the heat with StarSat.
Walila umtwana alilela umamake wamthatha wambekesi fubeni sakhe watithula sana lwam watithula sana lwam. Hello, Dumelang, Sanbonani.
So welcome back. This is still the Pan-African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And of course, we are fearless, zero favor and zero fiction. And this is Pan-African Morning News. And as we always tell you, we're bringing you, the best of the best of the crop.
Yes, of course, on top of it. And of course, we are now joined by Tsholo Molefe. She's a fashion buyer, of course, studied at the London School of Fashion. Now, you can imagine that, one would think, what is a fashion buyer? Good morning, Tsholo, and thank you for joining us on Pan-African Morning.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, you're so beautiful. I mean, I love your smile already so early on Monday morning. And like Sisanda said, I wanted to also find out, what is a fashion buyer?
Thank you so much. So a fashion buyer really is somebody who is procuring fashion, or, in layman's terms, styles for a specific retailer. So my job really is to make sure that the average consumer, so the people in our lives, have clothes. When they walk into a store, they see clothes, and those clothes need to be according to the latest trends. They need to be according to the relevant taste for the market. And basically it's just a lot of things that one entails in order to offer a customer a cohesive range. So that is what a buyer is, making sure that we have clothes to wear, basically.
So does it include, of course, like the taste, or not just clothes? Does it include that, you look into the stores, especially you're like, usually this type of stores, they specialize in this type of fashion. If you're looking for this, you go there and you're going to find this, you're going to find that. So you look into all those things and maybe advise the designers or the stores on what to acquire?
For sure. So really the foundation of a buyer's job is to know who her customer is, or his customer is. And in order for you to know your customer, you need to know what their likes, their dislikes are, their LSM, if you're catering for a low, middle, or higher income market, whether you're catering for a mother with kids or just kids. So basically you just need to factor in so many things within the demographic of the customer, but also ensuring that you're not offering the customer the same thing every season. But a range needs to be balanced, in a sense that you need to be offering her or him more, core everyday items. So a white tee, a black tee, we all need those sort of items in our closet. But then also, judging it up every season according to what the latest trends tell us.
So look, I want to understand, how does one become a fashion buyer? Because this is new to some of us. I know of fashion designers, but I never knew, there's actually a fashion buyer. How does one become one?
For sure. So it's interesting because I had never heard of the term fashion buyer. I never even thought of the process of how clothes even get to stores. I just thought that, they just get there. But so initially I wanted to study trend forecasting, and I wanted to actually be part of the people who tell us that what trends are going to be relevant for the next season. So what I did was I Googled how to be a trend forecaster, and to my surprise, that there were so many professions within the fashion industry other than a fashion designer that one could be. And fashion buying really spoke to me because it allowed me to use a more business-minded brain as well as a more creative brain, and really just meet each other in the middle. So how do you become a fashion buyer? You do your research. You go to school. There are many schools in South Africa now that offer the course. You can get a degree, you can get a certificate, you can get a diploma. So you can decide, what level of education that you want. And so really it's one that you study for. And the nice thing about it is that you don't need any prior, design or creative experience, but you just need, obviously, to just understand how retail works, and then also how clothing and manufacturing work. But all of that is covered when you go to school, so don't even worry.
So
you attend a lot of fashion shows and meeting all these designers and, TV personalities and models. Is that part of the job?
So initially, before the market, became what it is, a buyer's role was to make sure they're at every fashion week and to, look at what designers are doing, because evidently that's where trends come from. But what we do now is that because South Africa is 6 months behind in terms of trends, what we do in retail is that we actually look at what European designers are doing on the runway, and we then take those trends and trickle them down and make them more relevant for your everyday customer, because your everyday customer doesn't want to be wearing these big hats or puffy sleeves, and so it needs to be tailored for the everyday person. But you meet designers, you meet celebrities, especially I think I got a really good privilege to work in the broadcasting, also rather in TV, before I actually got into buying. So really just building that CV for yourself is really great.
Maybe in closing, Tsholo, I would like to find out, because you find the type of retails that are chain, right? So you find one here in Gauteng and you find one in KwaZulu-Natal, but the type of clothing that you're going to find in that store, it is not the same. How do you, as a buyer, advise the stores to say, "Hayi la amaZulu, faka iskoshi," and then here, abaTswana, faka or amaSotho, faka lento engathi ingo, faka isishweshwe type of thing? How do you look into that, or you like say, laba babroki laba, faka nomgabe yini oyifunayo?
No, definitely. So like I said, you need to tailor your range really to your customer, because if your customer doesn't like what you've given them, you're not going to make any sales. Your product is not going to sell. So what it also entails is really understanding which part of the country or the world your customer is living in. So for instance, I had the privilege of working overseas in Dubai for a really reputable company, and just changing my mind shift to shifting my mind to know that I'm working with an Arab customer here and not a South African customer. So really understanding that if a customer base, if more of your customer base is on the coastline, what products do you offer them? So the Durban climate is way more hotter than the Western Cape climate. So how do you tailor your assortment to ensure that maybe they have shorts all year round, or swimwear all year round, versus inland in Gauteng where we don't have beaches, maybe we don't have all of those things. So really it's nice because you don't work alone. You have a team, you have a planner, you have the design team, so you don't work alone and you don't make all these decisions alone. So really it's a whole team that allows you to be able to make the perfect decisions for your customer base.
But I must say, you have a very exciting job. So tell me, tell us, what is the summer color for 2020, during even this COVID-19? But what should we look forward to? What colors?
It really depends. Well, the Pantone color for 2020, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's coral. It's some sort of coral color. But I know that for summer, if you're wearing your bright summer colors, and we know in Africa we love our bright summer colors. So your burnt oranges, your ochres, so that's like the mustard color.
Okay, she's very white.
Yes, so your ochres, so that's like your mustard colors, and then also just not forgetting just your pastel colors, bright pinks, teals, so that's teals, like a mixture of like a turquoise and a blue and a green. So just bright summer colors are always you can never go wrong with those, and I think those are staples in a wardrobe. Really, I feel like you can pair a bright color with a more neutral color and you're ready to go.
Yeah. Umdidile kancane lapha sisi, ngicela ungi-explain le coral color. Intoni coral? Ngoba mina ngiyazi blue, red, pink, orange. Manje mase uthi coral, sengithe okay sesikhuluma ngempela ngama fashion buyer. What is a coral color?
Coral is a mixture of a pink and a orange color. So it's as if you took pink and orange and you mix them together. It's a stunning color. It works so well on brown skin. I think it works so well also on whether you're using it on a knit fabric, whether you're using it on a woven fabric, whether you're using it on swimwear jackets, it is a stunning color. Just, yeah, check it out. Coral is stunning.
I will wear coral tomorrow so that she can get to understand this thing from the horse's mouth. Thank you so much, Tsholo, for joining us. And of course, thank you for waking up most of women this Women's Month, because it helps us to gain confidence when we look all bright and beautiful. So have yourself a beautiful week ahead of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Thank you. That was Tsholo Molefe, fashion buyer, giving us a whole lot more regarding, fashion buying, and also giving us a little bit of clarity on how this thing works. So if you out there at home and you wish that one day you can take that type of path, please do not hesitate. Also to get in contact with Tsholo, we are going to share some of her details on our screen just shortly, so that for the future you are able to get in contact to her and just find out on how did she do it. I mean, she's been in Dubai for so many years, 3 years living in Dubai. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? On that note, we are going to take a very short break. When we're coming back, we've got no more news and updates for you right here on Pan-African Morning. Please just stay with us.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in 4th Industrial Revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge, and that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.
So welcome back. This is still the Pan-African Morning News right here on Galaxy Universal Network. And of course, we are on our social media pages. We are on Twitter, on Instagram, live on Facebook, and we are on Channel 500 on StarSat. So do go and get, your decoder, StarSat decoder. It's actually, you can get it at Pick and Pay stores. You can also get it at macro stores. You can get it at game stores, just everywhere. We are on StarSat. And I'm sure that you don't want to miss our shows. You don't want to miss Maketi Mondays.
And just to top up on that, Balisa, quite very soon, Galaxy will be migrating from social media platforms so that people can follow us on our decoders. So it is yet another very critical reason why you need to go and get your decoders, because you'll only get very short snippets of the shows right here on social media platforms, those that are watching us through social media. you will be receiving your Smolanyana lockdown, treat, and then later on you will be able to only watch us fully on your televisions at home. So please do go and get your decoders so that you make sure that you don't miss out on any of the news updates.
Of course, so let us take you through to our news for this morning. Now, news that schools might be opening its doors soon is not only heartwarming, but an incredible relief to parents, activists, and more importantly, the students themselves, as the period they have been out of school and as well as uncertainty that has surrounded it threatened their basic right to education. And on our other stories, Malawi President Lazarus Chakwera, in his weekly address to the nation, said that on Saturday that schools that meet set safety standards will stand a chance to be given a permission to open in the first week of September. Chakwera's statement has long been what most students wanted to hear, and it came riding on the reassured belief of the background work that Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 is doing in ensuring that amidst the pandemic, life must go on. But however, the line of thought that argues that children have been safer at home than they could be at school, it's a thought-provoking, it's thought-provoking, and it brings in a lot of factors into play. Now, since the closure of schools, the rate at which young schoolgirls were being impregnated, married, and as well as sexually abused rose significantly high in the country, while young boys were alarmingly involved in various malactivities, such as drugs, substance abuse, and as well as being involved in criminal practices now that have landed some of these young boys in jail. And as the pandemic shows no sign of disappearing anytime soon, the only option, Bahayetu, is that Malawians is just to adjust the lifestyle to suit the new intruder. But otherwise, the question of putting everything to a stop looks to be anything but a miscalculated initiative. Yeah, that's actually said, Asisanda, because the lockdown has proven also, and a lot of, it had a lot of negative impact. Gender-based violence, actually rose here in South Africa because of the lockdown. Like, the story that we also reported that a whole lot of young girls actually also got impregnated, because of the lockdown.
In Malawi.
In Malawi, yes, but also in South Africa as well. You know what I mean? Because we are just, all, in this, especially like I said, I always make an example with the township and places like Abu Alexander. We live like with a whole lot of family members, uncles, brothers, and that is where now you find that there's a whole lot of abuse, not only gender-based violence, not only physical abuse, but also sexual abuses as well. So yeah, the number of GBV, in South Africa also rose, but especially in Malawi as well.
Yes, I mean, schools have been closed for quite some time in Malawi, and, having to get them opened, it's going to be good news, of course. I mean, imagine the drama of staying with these children. Ooh, schools must open. They must just go back to school.
Indeed, yeah. Yes. But otherwise, let us continue with our stories this morning, Mukhayetu. Now, a bad weather is delaying an operation to remove the wreck of a Japanese fuel tanker that ran aground on a coral reef of Mauritius. The tanker, which was carrying 4,000 tons of fuel oil, when it ran around near the Indian Ocean island on the 25th, has leaked about 1,000 tons of its cargo in a popular honeymoon resort's pristine coastal wet waters. Now let's take a look at the aftermath of the social resident that shows the bad impact to oil and rather that has on the surrounding areas.
So we're down in Grand Port, one of the heaviest affected places that this oil spill has hit. Buckets and buckets full of thick oil like this. Like, it doesn't get thicker than that pure oil here. Just look inside here in these mangroves. I mean, come on. How are we supposed to clean this?
People on the island of Mauritius are cutting off their own hair as they rally to clean up an oil spill that threatens to cause an ecological catastrophe. Ramina Tsholo of eco-tourism agency Mauritius Conscious said the African nation's residents are making booms to float in the ocean and soak up the oil from sugarcane leaves, plastic bottles and their hair. She said there had been a big campaign to get human hair as it absorbs oil but not water. The Japanese ship started leaking oil on Thursday, having struck a reef.
And the government, marine experts and local community have been working hard to get the oil out of the ocean, but the ship broke this past weekend, making the efforts even harder. Now the front part of the broke ship drifted and the other sank 1,000 kilometers away from the island.
Very difficult one there. Mauritius is a destination, a holiday destination that, of course, most of people, they wish to be going there. And this will affect, of course, quite very much. It will be too much on their, tourism. It will hurt their tourism quite very badly, especially now going for the festive season where in December, a whole lot of people will be going into holiday destinations. And at this moment, having, all their oceans being like this and making sure that to double the problem is that now the ship has sank more than 1,000 kilometers down. That's way too deep. How do you bring that back? It will hurt, of course, the nature. It will hurt the species that are under water in there. It's a very sad one, I must say. Really, really sad.
Indeed. Yeah. But otherwise, so let us continue with our other stories. Now, at least 9 people have been killed and more than 28 have been wounded in a gun and bomb attack by the Al-Shabaab armed group fighters on upscale beachfront hotel in Somalia's capital. Security forces were struggling to regain control of the elite hotel in the Lido Beach area more than an hour after the assault began yesterday, and officials fear the attackers had taken hostage. And among the deceased are the 2 government employees, 3 hotel security guards and 4 civilians. Captain Mohammed Hussein said the attacks started with a powerful car bomb which blew off the security gates to the elite hotel. Then gunmen ran inside and took hostages, mostly young men and women who were dining at the hotel. And security forces rescued more than 10 people during the siege. The area has had a power outage since the attack started, and security forces shot dead 2 of the attackers in the hotel, and officials continue to search for the 2 kidnapped individuals. The Oyo State Police Command confirmed the escape of a notorious Akinyele serial killer, Sunday Shodipe, from the custody. Now, the Commissioner of Police in the state, CP, Nwachuku Enwonu, said in a statement that the prime suspect in the serial killings at Akinyele local government area, Munia Ibadan of Oyo State, Shodipe, a 19-year-old male who was arrested and paraded along with 2 others at the Oyo State Police Command on the 17th of July of this year, 2020, has escaped. The escapee was charged to court but remanded in police custody until the 11th of August. And state officials have asked that the general public be on the lookout, arrest and immediately inform the officers and men of the command when they see the escapee.
He's just a 19-year-old young man. I mean, being a serial killer at 19, it is extremely unbelievable. And the fact that this teenager is even able to, escape the prison, it's surreal. It's just somehow unbelievable that this young man can do that all by himself. It's just still quite very much unbelievable. But on that note, let us take a very short break. When we're coming back, we've got more news and updates for you right here on Pan African Morning, channel 500.
Hello. Being a legal practitioner in South Africa in these challenging times demands lawyers that will help clients beyond legal issues. The ever-changing demands in commerce and tourism require lawyers who have sound and clear business and commercial knowledge. And that's where MB Chabangu Incorporated comes in. Our business, mining, tourism, health, labor, and economic knowledge encapsulated with law and litigation experience gives us an advantage in the legal sphere. Our experience in assisting businesses, government, and various industries with their needs puts us amongst the many progressive and striving law firms in South Africa. Now, to contact our attorneys for assistance with any of the mentioned fields and others, please call us on 012-341-4187 or send us an email on admin@chabangu.co.za. MB Chabangu Incorporated, where problems meet solutions.